Paramount, the Qatari government, and Trump in charge at DC Comics, news and all that is a terrible idea. If you can remember when last Paramount had a good movie, let me know. Serious talk today. Like I'm not like I know I make fun stuff, but the stuff we enjoy, like DC Comics, actively in danger. So a few days ago, we learned that Netflix was going to buy out Warner Media for the 86 billion. And despite what we may like, what we may not like about it, it may result in a net positive in terms of getting better quality. That is now in danger because Paramount, Skydance, they want to buy it out for more money, but they funded by Saudi Arabia and Qatar investments, right? And why last thing for fuck's sakes? Absolute Superman was literally about a corrupt corporation taking over the world and exploiting everybody. Because everything was under a monopoly, and that's exactly where we headed. How, dog? How we could miss this? And that's just again, right? That like art shapes reality, and reality being shaped by art is such a real thing. It might seem like nothing, but that's a big deal. Because remember, the Saudis are very conservative, and when it comes to media and stuff, they like to promote their beliefs, their systems, and that sort of stuff. And we have to remember, DC Comics and a lot of the games are part of that. Also, we can't forget about the ideology and politics and all of that, because that'll also play a part. And especially with DC Comics, where it's like anti-corruption and fighting governments and stuff like that, the Saudis not going to like that. With characters like Power Girl, and I'm a man that really like cleavage. I really like tits, dog. So I am one that just say misogyny, whatever. It's not even that. It's something I like. I find it good. It fits the story sometimes, and it's very good to look at. And with the Saudis having a big stake in it, we may lose that. On top of that, little I didn't realize that apparently CNN was part of Warner Bros. Holdings. And apparently the Ellisons, who bought CBS earlier, also trying to bid to get it. Meaning that it is also backed by Jared Kushner, that's Donald Trump's son, and that means that most likely Netflix not going to actually get it because Trump most likely not going to approve the sale anyway to Netflix. So even if Netflix have the offer, they agree, the agreement mightn't go through because Trump might veto it with the FCC and stuff. Because he wants it to go to Paramount and the Ellisons. On top of that now, we will just get some unfortunate blowback and lose a lot of stuff because they want to play politics and want to play like influencer and influence news and all of that. And DC Comics is a side thought. And that's the most shocking part of this. Because I didn't even realize that all this had to do with all that political play and all of that. So for the last couple of hours I just going through this and I thought people should at least have an idea of the direction things headed in. Because we have been having some of the best comic runs from DC in fucking years with the Absolute Universe. And we all enjoying it. It's some of the best writing, everything about it good. And we might lose that simply because some people want to like just gain CNN and just fucking money. Because their bid is, I believe, 108 billion. Where's that? I can try it. This is live news and everything, right? I believe here it is, 108 billion. So they are offering more money than Netflix as a cash deal versus that assets and cash that Netflix was offering. And even with that, the executives wasn't outright giving it to them. So they're going through the article here. Paramount want to compete with Netflix and trying to hostily take over instead of letting the agreement go. And Trump raised questions because, of course, his son in charge of that. And I'm not concerned with most of this, you know. What concern is primarily that another big company will get bought up by basically a White House friend, so we wouldn't get actual news that critical of the government. And then secondly, the other parts of it are people who just want to like stream narratives and all of that. With like the Saudis and Qatar and all of that, and there is more censorship, and like censorship not very good right about now. Like legitimately, my channel started because I don't like the idea of censorship, and even the adults involved in Pokemon, all channels are cutesy cutesy. I never get genuine reactions from people because everybody trying to stay PG and PC and all that. It's like, dog, adults play Pokemon too, and all this stuff just make it more apparent that all that going on is just people playing for power and fucking money, and just the little joys we have in life, they just getting taken away over and over. Right? So there's 30 per share. Warner Bros. Discovery acquisitions from over. So they're trying to see if they could buy the shareholders, regulators, politicians to just make sure Netflix do get it and like draw it out. And at this point, I am hoping Netflix will fight back, or at least let the public have some say, because again, right, is the lesser two evils. At this point, the lesser two evils are Netflix. Netflix might have its issues, but quality good for shows and all that. But sure as fuck, Paramount, the Qatari government, and Trump in charge at DC Comics, news and all that is a terrible idea. If you can remember one last Paramount had a good movie, let me know. So, because also, a part again skipped is also the fact that Paramount is also going to get control of the Warner Brothers Armor movies. And if everything were more conservative, there's not been a good conservative movie that I can even recall. And if someone was moving to conservative, just imagine what's going to happen. Because again, everyone is entitled to the beliefs, but you can't force your beliefs on other people. I just want to see a good movie with some explosions, Megan Fox, and that's it, dog. I just want to have something I enjoy and a little bit of wish fulfillment. You don't have to inject politics in every single little aspect. And worse it, I actually finally forgive DC for what they did with the Blue Flash comic book run, because the run on this absolute universe is unmatched. Even the DCKO event, unmatched. And just like that, we may lose it to this. Just imagine we could lose DCKO on a potential Marvel and DC crossover in the next couple of years, because I'm sure Disney and Netflix will be able to shake hands. And we'll lose that for this. For some shit movies from Paramount and freaking a bunch of Qatari and all of that. And again, I'm the one who like just anti-Semitic or on anti-Muslim or anything. It's not even about that. It is purely that they are not the best people for the franchise and for the fans. And that's a shame, because everything stacked against them. So most likely, we're not going to actually see Netflix getting it. Besides the like hostile takeover, they have Trump on the side, they have the FCC on the side. The only thing that could possibly help is like social pressure. And again, like you see in here, these Ellisons. What going on? I'll just like look why hostile takeover bids here. What's hostile takeover bid? A corporate hostile takeover is when a company moves to acquire another firm without the consent of a target company's management. Oh God. So trying to literally buy out all these shares instead. I might keep up some videos about this. I know this might get them as much views, but I think people who are actually interested will appreciate the coverage, because they're not really seeing it much covered in other media. And that's why even though my platform dog, my platform's like an ant butthole dog. Tiny. But even if it is like 10 or 15 people get a hold of this, maybe that's enough to help. Maybe somebody could start a petition as well and that kind of stuff. Because I'm much rather Netflix getting pay a couple more dollars than go to Paramount and the Saudis and they shelf a bunch of shows because they don't like what they have in it. Because again, they don't care about people, they care about profit. And that's where I'll end this. And that's about it.